This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So where on earth do we go with this one? Eddie Hearn has said that Anthony Joshua has no memory from round 3. Of course, round 3 is the round that a lot of people are saying is one of the best rounds in boxing, one of the best rounds at heavyweight, one of the best rounds of all time, of recent era, whatever it may be. Now, yes, it was a very, very exciting round number 3. That one was where Andy Ruiz, for the first time in his career, he gets dropped to the canvas himself. He gets up, and for those of you who are with me on the live stream on that one, I'm saying don't engage him, stay away from him. He's not hurt. And what happened? Andy Ruiz Jr. counted him backwards and ended up dropping Anthony Joshua twice in that round himself. And on the replay, one of them was a hit on the top of the head. So is that the punch that made Anthony Joshua lose all memory for the rest of the fight? Which is a little bit alarming. I mean, is this one of the reasons why he was panicking in the corner, saying, what shot was it that hit me? What do I do next round? And all this kind of thing. Things that Joshua doesn't usually do in the corner, where Rob McCracken is having to like almost calm him down. Joshua is out of character. Now, I come up with a theory before that maybe Anthony Joshua had concussion or something was wrong coming into that fight. Eddie Hearn, of course, and Anthony Joshua have denied it. Whether it's true, whether it's not, we don't know. Everything, of course, is speculation. But it seems that many, many pros, including some of the matchroom fighters, the trainers, all that kind of thing, have all said, yeah, there was something wrong with Joshua coming into that fight. Now, this isn't people reaching. Some people who don't even give two hoots about Anthony Joshua were saying, yeah, something ain't right with Anthony Joshua. We could see it right away. Tyson Fury could see it too. So we're supposed to believe that nothing was wrong. Okay, so it just happens that one punch and he loses memory for 4 rounds. So he went 4 rounds with no memory whatsoever. He didn't know what the hell was going on. That's bizarre, isn't it? That is very, very bizarre and quite alarming. I mean, is this why Anthony Joshua is still in America a week later? Don't know. I mean, maybe he hasn't been medically cleared to leave, or maybe just have an extended holiday. We don't know what's happening. But of course, over the last couple of days, he has revealed that he will in fact be rematching Andy Ruiz Jr. Now, if he has some kind of medical problem, is he in any kind of fit state to be making those kind of decisions just yet? Well, anyway, we don't know. Again, everything is up for speculation. But the thing is, I mean, to have no memory for 4 rounds is very, very alarming. Very alarming. Me, as an Anthony Joshua fan, and I make no apologies for it, much like most of you guys listening to this one here, we don't jump ship. And it is the same with me and you guys. For most British fighters or any kind of fighters outside the UK as well, who we support through the wins, the draws, and the losses. We support them anyway. We're not one of those fans that just jump ship at the first sign of trouble. We don't do that. If we're in the backseat of the car, then we're with them for the long haul, okay, until retirement day. But there are a lot of YouTubers who were very, very pro Anthony Joshua before this. Suddenly now, well, it's all about boxing. All we want is undisputed, and it was never really about Joshua. And blah, blah. Well, you weren't saying that before, was you? Let's be real. You weren't saying it before. If you was, hey, fair play. But regardless, it just seemed that there's like a lot of glory hunters. And I know that most of you guys don't fit into that category. You guys are boxing fans, okay? You will support your fighter, win, lose, or draw. And that's how it should be. But what I don't like to hear is the likes of Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua saying that there was nothing wrong, when most people could see that there was something wrong. We don't know what that something was. Again, that's all speculation. That's all that. But it's not normal for Anthony Joshua to be playing with his gum shield as he's being announced. It's not normal for him to be stood in the corner while he's getting massaged and keep looking up at the lights and rolling his eyes, etc. It's not normal for Anthony Joshua to have 0 punch resistance. It's not normal for Anthony Joshua to not be able to set up punches. It's not normal for Anthony Joshua to start breathing heavy after 1 round when not much hit him. Round number 2, he's breathing quite heavy. Round number 3, obviously, listen, that's a terrible round. He's breathing through his backside, right? But the thing is, something was wrong. We all know it's wrong. And for them to say, or Eddie Hearn to say that he had no memory from round number 3, It's very, very alarming, especially at the end of the fight when Joshua's father is directing his anger towards Eddie Hearn. We've heard the excuses that, he was unhappy with how the fight ended. He's just being a father, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Joshua is holding his dad back saying, no, Dad, it's me. I'm the fighter. It's my fault. But what does he mean by that? It was my fault. So why would Joshua's dad have a go at Eddie Hearn for the referee potentially ending the fight too early? If he feels that Joshua should have been pulled from the fight earlier, then he should have been having a go at Rob McCracken, should he not? What's Eddie Hearn got to do with all that? When the bell goes, Eddie Hearn is a spectator. He has no say, no influence on the referee, nothing to do with Joshua. So something was happening before that fight and his dad let rip. But of course, they're not going to let us know about that. Why? Because they love the comeback story. People get knocked down in life. It's how you come back. That whole storyline, which is great. Of course it is. And he's right to do that from a certain point of view. Of course, hopefully that will inspire and motivate a lot of people, especially if he is to win the rematch. But again, just let me just say just now, this isn't a negative towards Andy Ruiz Jr. This is not to say he did anything wrong or he got an easy night at the office. Not at all. What Andy Ruiz Jr. done was very, very... Well, his game plan worked, didn't it? He come in to do his job and he did his job. And me and most Joshua fans will look at Andy Ruiz Jr. and say, congratulations to you. You're a nice guy. And considering that his backstory, that he was just released from Top Rank and Bob Arum, where his career was going nowhere, to suddenly now a unified world heavyweight champion. So most people will look at Andy Ruiz Jr. and say, listen, congratulations to you. Everything you're getting, the press, the praise, the money, of course, not only for the first fight, but the rematch, you deserve it. And nobody's taken anything away from Andy Ruiz Jr. So, but for this one, for them to say that, so clearly he had concussion then, did he not? If he doesn't remember anything from round 3 onwards. And it doesn't just happen with one punch, does it? Hey, listen, maybe it does. I'm not a professional fighter. I've never been hit like that before. And I don't remember what happened after. Maybe this does happen. But for it to just happen just like that, and everything was fine before the fight, I don't buy that for not 1 second, and I'm sure most of you guys don't either. Are they going to say what was wrong? Of course not. Why? Because there's some ramifications for that, isn't there? If Eddie Hearn knew, and he allowed Joshua to get into the ring, don't look good for Eddie Hearn, does it? Personally, I believe that Eddie Hearn, if he'd have known something was wrong with Joshua, then he would have pulled the plug on it. Listen, he thinks the world of Joshua. He's not just going to send him into the lines then, is he? Of course he ain't. Well, you would hope not, at least. Anyway, happy birthday to Eddie Hearn. It's his 40th today. So, what I'm not going to be doing, or hearing even, is everything was fine before the fight. It wasn't fine. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Joshua says. As I said, there are legal ramifications from like the British Boxing Board of Control. If they heard that Anthony Joshua knowingly went into the ring, especially with a head injury, he's in a hell of a lot of trouble. Eddie Hearn is in a hell of a lot of trouble. Rob McCracken is in a hell of a lot of trouble. The medical team who checked the fighters beforehand are in a hell of a lot of trouble. So, of course, they have to keep it behind closed doors if something was wrong. As I said, never said that there is something wrong, but listen, in my opinion, yeah, actually, I do believe that there was something wrong. That's my honest opinion on it. But as I said, it's not a fact. I wasn't there. But it just seems to me that for Eddie Hearn to say everything was fine, Joshua was saying, well, it's all my fault. It's my fault. And then we hear that he has no memory from round number 3 onwards. That's quite alarming, isn't it? Andy Ruiz Jr., listen, he's a heavyweight. He's a decent puncher. But Josh has been in there with much bigger hitters than Andy Ruiz before. He's been hit much harder than what Andy Ruiz hit him. But he's never had anything like this. Yes, of course, it's all come to light. I mean, had Anthony Joshua had beaten Ruiz, people wouldn't be saying all this. All the cracks would be papered over. Of course they would. But if he did get hurt in sparring, if this is one of the things, it would stand to reason, wouldn't it? It really would. Looking up at the lights, getting the massage, looking quite uncomfortable in the ring, playing with his gum shield, punch resistance, absolutely shoddy. From round number 1 onwards. Never mind round number 3. Yeah, round number 3, yes, he got hurt, come out for round number 4. He just didn't look composed at all. But he didn't look like that in round number 1 or round number 2 either. So, Anyway, I mean, that's my thoughts on it all. I mean, for Anthony Joshua to lose all memory for 4 rounds, that's weird. That is very, very weird. As I said, I mean, is this one of the reasons why he's still in America? Because it hasn't been medically cleared. We don't know. Is that what they're going with? So, of course, after the fight, he was supposed to have a press conference with Andy Ruiz Jr., but Joshua had to sit it out because he was having some kind of medical checks for concussion. Is this what they're going with, to say, well, yeah, he wasn't injured before the fight, but round number 3, yeah, you know what, he got a concussion after that one. Listen, it's a good story, isn't it? You know, you can cover up for it, that's for sure. But anyway, it is what it is. All we can do now is look forward to the rematch, see what happens. And listen, I don't know. I mean, for me, maybe Andy Ruiz Jr. is just totally the wrong style. I did say before the fight that Andy Ruiz Jr. is a style that Joshua does not like. We've seen it. Andy Ruiz Jr. is the same kind of stature, as in reach, height, all that kind of thing, as Arna Povetkin, as Carlos Takam, as Joseph Parker. Joshua never looked comfortable in any of those fights because it's shorter guys. Andy Ruiz Jr. has faster hands than all of them. And yeah, that would include Joseph Parker, who has very, very fast hands himself. But Joshua just didn't do the basics, keep him at range. Instead, he decided to try and get on Ruiz's chest. I mean, get within punching range. The whole thing's suspect, in my opinion. I'm not reaching, I'm not making excuses. Listen, if he just had a bad night at the office, he just had a bad night at the office. It happens. All fighters take a loss. As I said, I've seen Dillian Whyte lose to Anthony Joshua. Do you think I was ecstatic about that? Of course not. I've seen plenty of my guys get done. And Joshua's no different. Listen, we may well see him lose again. He may lose a rematch. But are we going to jump off the train? Of course not. Of course not. Much like we still support Dillian Whyte. We still support Tyson Fury. We still support Dave Allen, who's had a few losses. We still support David Price, who's had even more. The list goes on. One loss doesn't change anything, really. It just doesn't. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it all. I'm not too sure exactly where I was going with all of it, but for me, it just seems strange that now they're coming out with from round 3, Anthony Joshua had no memory. Is that a crossover because of something that happened before the fight? Or was Andy Ruiz Jr. a much bigger puncher than what he's ever shown before? Who knows? Anyway, you drop your thoughts below about it, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.